What's up, everybody? It is me, KiNGAlpha. Hope everybody's doing great. So, I got another video for you guys. It's going to be more or less the top 3 kingdom policies to more or less use in your kingdom when you're first starting off your kingdom, or whether you're, playing your game right now and you're struggling a bit with your kingdom and stuff, or whatever, I think these are the top 3 kingdom policies to really use. There's other policies that are good, and I will have, I think, about 2 of them that I will show you guys that are pretty good as well if you want to enact them, but it is fully up to you. Again, I want to thank you guys all for the support on the previous videos I've had. I definitely appreciate you guys helping me out there, because it definitely, it definitely helps me out in terms of the algorithm for Bannerlord and all that other stuff. So before I start off on the 3 policies, I just want to say, again, keep in mind some of these policies will be, when you have new clans join in, or if you have clans already, some of them will not want you to actually enact this policy. Or if you already have it enacted and then clans join your clan, they will try to abolish your policy. So as you can see, consider abolishing this policy 100%. And I make sure basically I have enough influence constantly to reject these clans that constantly want to abolish your policies. So definitely make sure you do have influence for this, down the line when you become a bigger kingdom, to make sure that you can keep these policies because they are really, really good. Anyways, let's get into it. So the number one overall best, I believe you get this in the beginning. The overall one best policy is Royal Guard. You immediately get a party size increase by 60, and the non-ruling clans do lose 0.2 influence per day, so they will want to abolish this. As you guys can see, I have a lot of clans in my faction, and they do want to abolish this. They 100% don't like it, and they want to abolish it. Um, Nonetheless, this is huge for you because of the fact that you get plus 60 in party size, and of course, you being the ruling clan and everything, and you're going to be going and fighting a lot. This helps you out a lot on the battlefield all the time. Plus 60 troops is huge. Again, they will want to abolish this. Now, I don't know. I just want to state this really quick as well. I don't remember exactly what happens in the beginning when you start a kingdom. I've done so many playthroughs, and my last playthrough has been corrupted due to the mods and everything. However, I just want to say, in terms of the actual policies, I forgot whether you can choose a couple in the beginning and stuff. So definitely comment down below if you guys can, etc., or maybe just a little bit of the process. So, in case for maybe a future video or something, I can just put that in there. Anyways, Royal Guard is the number one policy for sure, due to the fact that it gives you, as the ruler, a plus 60 party size. I really don't care about the influence for my little non-ruling clans, but the party size increase is the biggest thing. The next one is noble retinues. Now this one has a little bit of a catch to it. You do need to be tier 5 clan and above, and usually I would say is you shouldn't really start a kingdom until you're either tier 5 plus, or you have a great amount of money. Or like a good decent, as you guys can see this long ass row, a good decent income coming in, due to the fact that you obviously want to be able to sustain fighting versus other kingdoms that are larger, and you do want to obviously have higher party sizes as well. Anyways, noble retinues comes in here too, because, or as number 2, because of the fact that tier 5 clans lose 1 influence per day, which, who cares? The party size of their leaders is increased by 40. So due to this being increased by 40, you're already getting 60 from Royal Guard, so now you're getting another plus 40 from noble retinue. So now this gives you plus 100 party size, simply just from 2 policies in your kingdom. And this really, really can help you out in terms of, dominating other armies. In the early game, you don't have to be worried about making a bunch of other clans join into your army so you can go and take a city, because by now you would have either had a family member have their own army and have them join you guys, or this or that. So this by far is the second best policy in the game. However, the catch is you do need to be tier 5 plus, which is pretty easy. You can do tournaments, you can do fighting loads, etc. It's really, really easy to get tier 5 to even tier 6. So this is the policy number 2, and I would say as well, clans usually do not abolish this one. So it's a really good policy because you never have to worry about saving influence to more or less reject a lot of the AI that constantly wants to abolish it. I will say this as well. These are policies that are both for console and PC, non-modded. There's no modded policies here or anything like that. So you guys can do this on both PC and console. So just keeping that in mind. The next and last one for the number 3 spot is land grants veterans, or for sorry, land grants for veterans. So militia quality is increased by 10%, and village tax income is reduced by 5%. Now, your clans will 100% want to abolish this, so I will say this: you should enact this policy as soon as you can when starting off your kingdom, because other clans join in and they will immediately not want to enact this policy because of the fact that it brings down the AI income. But this policy is huge for the player due to the fact that, and huge for the player and the other clans, but the other clans sadly don't realize it. The militia quality being increased by 10% is actually huge, because most of the times, instead of villages or towns producing constantly level 1 and 2 troops, you actually start to see a lot higher production of tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 troops constantly. And it's really, really good, because it can really turn the tide, whether you're going to a village really quickly or a town really quickly, grabbing up some recruits and going back into the fight. Whether your other clans can come in and recruit from the village and immediately recruit good units instead of a bunch of levies. I think that's one big issue in Bannerlord, is a lot of the times after you defeat 2 or 3 armies, 2 or 3 big armies, most of the time they're going to be constantly coming back at you with just levy units. So this one is huge, and I've seen it been used by the AI one time, which was Britannia. And Britannia enacted this, and I was playing a Sturgia at the time, and I remember going to their villages, and it was constantly tier 4 and higher troops, and it was a lot of archers. So I remember facing Britannia, and it was like, I need this policy, but I'm not the leader. Ragnarvid isn't doing it. And Britannia would just dominate every single time versus every army, due to the fact that they were able to they enabled land grants veterans, and it's that you're just having high tier troops constantly from the villages. It's really, really good. Now, a side note from this one, because after talking about the top 3 policies here, there's one policy here that's really, really good that sadly doesn't get used enough as well, because it will be abolished, or people won't want to enact it, is cantons. And hopefully I said that right. But daily militia production is increased by 1, and recruitment and replenishment is 20% faster, and tax income and settlements are reduced by 10%. So the big problem of this, again, is that the AI will not want to enact this due to the fact that it brings down their economy. However, there's two things to this. For one, it increases the militia production by 1, so it's really, really fast. You can get units constantly. Now, there's one little downside to this one when using land grants veterans, is that even though you're getting replenishment quicker, a lot of the times I've noticed that sometimes with cantons, it produces still a lot of levies, or a lot of level 1s and 2s. So sometimes it can kind of like basically bash heads with land grants veterans, because you want your high tier troops, but you also want them to come out faster. So there is a chance that you can still get the higher tier troops, but there is a chance as well that you will constantly always produce some more levies to it. So definitely want to keep this in mind. It's a great policy, and I do use it. I wasn't able to enact it before putting this here. As you guys can see, if I want to propose this one, I would need only 1,100, which is fine. See, my game is already bugging and stuff, so I can propose it, and then eventually they will try to not enact it again, and they will want to abolish it. But nonetheless, it is a great policy to use, and I think for sure it can go really well, because your kingdom can constantly always go and grab new troops and always have your armies fighting, instead of a lot of the times what I've seen is that clans are just don't even have armies, because they're just got beaten, and then they can't even get any new recruitment, etc. There's other policies that are pretty good, like military achievement grants more influence, but usually you get more influence over time anyways. And there's not really other policies here that are really good, and a lot of these other policies kind of go with what you need. So like if you're expanding too much and you need more security or loyalty, you know, there's policies for that, but that's really up to you. So I'm not gonna really go in depth on any other policies, but these are the 3 policies I would really make sure that Royal Guard, Noble Retinues, and Lance Grants Veterans are the top 3 policies 100% to grab. And again, use Cantons if you can, and try it out and let me know how it goes, because I've had it mixed sometimes where it's like, oh, I'm just constantly producing Levy when I want to produce tier 4 troops and tier 5 troops, but it's also good to constantly always have troops producing and stuff. So let me know what you guys think. I hope these 3 policies do help you guys out in your kingdoms, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.